Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a briefing from www.central-mosque.com about the moon sighting of Ramadan. Inshallah, this entire presentation will be in English and I'll have a separate presentation for Urdu. Let's proceed. Many of our sincere brothers and sisters, when it comes to Ramadan and Eid and we have a split, they are concerned and they want to solve the problems of Ramadan and Eid. My brothers and sisters, in Islam, all 12 months out of the year start with the sighting of the moon. There's no such thing in Islam which tells you that you sight the moon for Ramadan and Eid and Shawwal and Dhul Hijjah for the two Eids, but you ignore every other month. It is just not possible. So you got to have a consistent system. Let me tell you and make this abundantly clear to you. Saudi Arabia makes no public announcements for all 12 months out of the year at all. So even if someone wants to follow a Saudi system in the West, it cannot be done because there are no public announcements for all 12 months at all. The Saudi Qura calendar is based on conjunction and not hilal. It does not matter whether you use the Qura calendar for religious purpose or civil purpose. It is based on conjunction and not hilal, and I will explain that to you in a moment. When the moon is sighted and a public announcement is made in Saudi Arabia, there are specific principles in Islam how that news is conveyed. You cannot simply switch on your TV or go to Twitter or Facebook and receive the announcement and make that declaration for Islam. For Muslims in the West, there has to be specific procedures. So even when the moon is sighted or not sighted for that matter, and a public announcement is made, how is that conveyed to the Muslims in the West? That is a very important question. So even if you say, for example, I want to follow Ramadan and Shawwal, you have the right to ask that question. How was that news conveyed to you or organization or scholar or whoever is the authority? Before I move on from this slide, let me make this abundantly clear. I derive no pleasure in talking about Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is an independent country run by scholars. They can choose to do whatever they like in their country. And their scholars do not tell anybody else to follow them at all. The reason I am addressing this issue is because I lived in Saudi Arabia, I studied in Saudi Arabia, I derive no perverse pleasure from talking about Saudi Arabia, is because of its relevance to Muslims in the West. Muslims need to very clearly understand that even if you want to follow Saudi Arabia moon sighting system for 12 months, you cannot do so because there are no public announcements for all 12 months at all. Let's continue. Simple slide, I talk about this every month. New moon conjunction is when the sun, the moon, and the earth is in a straight line. This is called the birth of the new moon or new moon conjunction. This moon here is called the dark black moon in English. It is called Mahaq in Arabic, and it cannot be seen on earth. There is no Islamic conjunction, no Islamic injunction, and nothing to do with anything. Islam has absolutely no rules associated with it or anything like that. And this is invisible. In opposition to Islam, other religions, for example, Judaism and Hinduism may have something to do with conjunction. Islam does not. So what happens after this conjunction? The earth continues to rotate around the sun and the moon continues to climb up until it reaches the point the sunlight hits the moon, it gets reflected back on earth. This is when it is sighted and it is called hilal or crescent. All Islamic months start with the sighting of the hilal. It's very simple, not with a conjunction at all. And this conjunction, remember, happens 10-15 hours or maybe more before the sighting of the hilal. Unfortunately, the Saudi Qura calendar is based on Iqtiran, and they tell you that very clearly on their website and in all the communications of the Saudi government. So what that means is Saudi Arabia, when they try to sight the moon on the 29th, they're actually sighting the moon on the 28th of the month. So every month, this is the reason why they're early. It is impossible for one particular location on Earth to consistently sight the moon before the whole globe. Let me put it to you even simply. The most blessed city on earth, Makkah Mukarramah, it is impossible for Makkah to be early and then the rest of the globe and always sight the moon before everybody else. It's impossible. There's no scientific reason for that. There's no Sharia reason for that at all. Don't get it hung up about what Qura is, whether it's for religious purpose or civic purpose. Because it is based on conjunction, it is early, and this is the problem. The new moon is born on the 15th of May, 1147, and this moon cannot be sighted anywhere on the globe on 15th of May. Yet, when you look at the Qura calendar, because it is based on conjunction, it is telling you that Ramadan starts on the 16th of May, right here. Because in Makkah, the moon set is 2 minutes after sunset. That is an impossibility. A 4-hour moon with 2 minutes to be seen. Before I move away from this slide, understand what I'm saying, and I'm going to repeat myself again. I am not saying Saudi Arabia is going to start Ramadan on the 16th of May. I hope and inshallah pray that and make dua that they do not. I am saying the Qura calendar currently states that Ramadan starts on the 16th of May. And I sincerely hope and pray that they do not, and they actually sight the moon, and they actually fail to sight the moon and start Ramadan on the 17th of May. I'm describing to you a problem about the Qura calendar and not declaring the future. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the future. Allah knows what is going to happen. The Qura calendar currently states that Ramadan starts on the 16th of May, and this is what I'm trying to tell you, that because it is based on conjunction right here, the dark black moon Mahaq and not Hilal, that they are always early and their calculations are incorrect. The next day on the 16th of May 2008, this moon will be easily seen in the majority of the world. So majority of the world will start Ramadan from the 17th of May, inshallah. Wifaqul Ulama, they create this chart and they will try to sight the moon on the 16th of May, 29th of Sha'ban, and the calculations say that this moon can be easily sighted in United Kingdom, Morocco, and South Africa. Wifaqul Ulama have gone one step further this time, and they have created a parameter night inside United Kingdom and outside, which is 1,000 miles, and opened up 10 different astronomy centers throughout to sight this moon, inshallah, for Ramadan on the 16th of May. And let's hope, inshallah, that this moon will be sighted. Once again, I end this presentation with saying that I am not saying Saudi Arabia is going to start the Ramadan on the 16th of May. I'm saying the Qura calendar currently states that, based on this ridiculous idea that the moon sets 2 minutes after the sun. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.